everyone. Welcome to the Red Room. And we are back again to the lists with something that I actually had thought about it, but I didn't want to do this list because Miguel is going to make fun of me.
I don't know what your list is, so I'll have an opportunity.
But you always gaslight me about my bad musical taste.
That's misogyny.
Yes. And
This
it also
was,
shows and I think it also shows my age.
yeah, probably. So, do you want to introduce it some way? In some way?
Yes, it's the list of albums.
Okay.
We are replying to Shadow, right? Of course, because
Exactly.
like I said, I thought it was something we could do, but
Okay, so before we start, do you have any honorable mentions?
I have, but not with albums. So one of the things that is very hard to do this for me is because for a long time I stopped listening to albums, even before using Spotify. When I was just ripping CDs or everything, I was doing mixtapes or mixed lists. So there's a lot of I don't remember the last time that I heard. Well, I do remember. It is not on a list, but it could be that I heard a full. No, actually, one of them is the last time that I heard a full album. So it's really hard. So I focused on things, albums that I actually had and bought and listened to a lot at the time. Some of the things I cannot listen anymore. Some I can with a bit of nostalgia. But my honorable mentions are not albums. They are artists that I could not pick an album.
Okay. So
I have to start one thing that you hate, but that I still love, The Cure.
I never liked The Cure.
I love The Cure. I was a goth girl, at least inside. So of course,
Inside.
I love The Cure. Seeds of Their Mercy, also the same, because I think what I listened to more was Greatest Hits, and I try to avoid putting Greatest Hits in the list because it feels like cheating. Yes. And actually, that was the only album I had. Then I have Johnny Cash. I couldn't pick one. Tom Waits and Motorhead.
Okay.
All of this would be in the list if I would be able to pick an album.
Okay,
so maybe we need to do a list just so at least with favorite bands and not favorite bands and singers instead of favorite albums. But that's for the next time.
It's basically the same thing for me. I would.
So for me, it's not.
The list would be the same, but I wouldn't because my process to do this list was I'm going to pick my favorite singers and bands, and then I'll pick an album for each one of them. So I have an album for each. The closest I came to cheating is a live album.
I have two lives. Oh, and the singles. I have 3
You can
cheating.
consider a live album to be an actual release. It's not the same as the greatest hits. And because I also mostly listen to stuff on Spotify, some of these are probably albums that I don't listen a lot, but some of the others are because I listen to them when there was no Spotify or when I didn't use Spotify about 10 years ago or before that. Okay, so now for my 4 honorable mentions. First one, Roy Orbison. I picked In Dreams. Roy Orbison is one of those I never bought an album, so I listen to playlists on Spotify, but In Dreams has my favorite songs. Then The Cult, Sonic Temple. This one I actually had. Oh, right, it wasn't Sonic Temple. I had the greatest hits, but Sonic Temple is most of those songs. Then some Sisters of Mercy. I chose Some Girls Wonder My Mistake. And finally, Alice Cooper, Trash. Okay, that's it. Now we can start.
So we have one thing in common in the honorable mentions.
We have D, but it's not The Cure, it's The Cult. It sounds Sounds almost the same.
Oh, there's something that I should add to the honorable mentions, and I forgot. The Smiths. The Smiths, Aka Morrissey solo.
I could have added someone here, maybe Tom Waits, uh, for a fifth, but I don't know. Blood Money probably. Okay,
Yeah, I was yeah,
let's
or
actually add the guy here.
I'm also doing this because then of the humiliation of my list. But then I can tell you things that no, I'm not gonna say things that albums that I had and I left out because most of these are albums that I actually had. Okay, so let's start.
Well, because I wanted to pick albums, I didn't add some people here because I don't actually have a favorite album of, and they would be the only two female singers. Ella Fitzgerald. I have no idea which album to pick because I only listen to greatest hits, and also Julie London.
Hmm.
Same thing. No album to pick. Well, I guess it would be easier to pick a Julie London album, probably. Well, I don't remember the name, but there are a few that I sometimes listen on Spotify. Okay, now let's go into the top 10.
Yes. So my top 10 is an album that that I had, and I listened to a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, and I loved it at the time. I don't think I can listen to it now, maybe. I just don't feel like it. It's very 90s, so it's Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette.
Hmm. Yeah, no, definitely.
Oops.
Not on.
Okay, you already ran away because of this.
Yeah, no, I think this was a connection issue. Okay, my number 10 is very cheesy, but they must be here. Def Leppard.
Oh, when you
I,
said cheesy, I
I,
knew it would be Def Leppard.
yeah, I was a Def Leppard's fan, and I can still listen to Def Leppard. I love those songs.
Okay.
Number 9.
Number 9 for me is Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures.
Okay, my number 9 is Meatloaf. I'm not sure. Bet out of Hell 1 or 2, probably. I would probably have to select number 2 because it was what I listened to the most. I would do anything for love. I would do that. Just that. I don't know what it was, but that. Let's go up to number 8.
Number 8, Bon Jovi, Crossroads.
Yeah,
It was my favorite album. I can listen to them now, but I love Bon Jovi. It was the first album that I had of them, but I listened to them so much that there was a time that I could not listen without throwing up. Not literally, but now I actually can. And let's be one of the first and best concerts that I went. I have to say it was the Bon Jovi concert in Alvalade, in which you had Van Allen and Ugly Kid Joe doing the first part.
Okay.
And there was another band, I don't know it. There was another rock band that I don't remember the name, but I had Van Allen, Ugly Kid Joe, and Bon Jovi. It was a really good concert.
I really liked Ugly Kid Joe, but not anymore, of course. At the time, I liked it. Okay, my number is it 8?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 8. My number 8 is ZZ Top. Not my most listened album by ZZ Top, but it was it wasn't called Greatest Hits, the one I listened to the most, but it was a Greatest Hits. It was Viva Las Vegas. But the next one is Eliminator. Very good album. My favorite songs probably are there. And and still am a ZZ Top fan. I like those. I like those bearded dudes. The only bearded dudes I like. Number 7.
Number 7 for me is the soundtrack of a film, Trainspotting.
Oh yeah.
I really, really love that soundtrack.
I guess it can be. It can be. Yeah. Yeah. It's acceptable. Yes. A soundtrack is acceptable. Okay, my next one is basically a replacement. I would have years ago I would have said something by Creedence Clearwater Revival, but later I started listening to Lynyrd Skynyrd. I basically didn't know them. I confused them because they sound exactly the same. But since Creedence, or at least the frontman, went insane recently, or maybe they were insane already with EDS. And some of the songs I liked are actually originals by Leonard Skinner. I chose Leonard Skinner for my seventh place, and it's their first album, pronounced Leonard Skinner. Or Leonard Skinner. I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. I have the title here. Okay, next.
Okay, number 6. So number 6 is an album that I think is essential for everybody born in the 80s. Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy, and the Infinite Sadness. And I think I can still listen to some of the musics. And it's a good mix because they were grunge, but not completely grunge. And again, they were a bit got weird. And I think still, I mean, I know you don't like Smashing Pumpkins, but that is a really good album.
I had that one, in spite of not
Yeah.
really liking them, but I had that one. Okay, my next one is the one I mentioned that it was the closest to cheating. It's Queen, Live at Wembley.
Mhm.
But I actually listened to Live at Wembley most of the times I was listening to Queen, so most of their albums are average.
Mhm.
Their best songs are all over the place. So Live at Wembley is a pretty good one.
I have
Next.
that one, but I put it further up because I didn't. In terms of quality of the albums that I choose, the Queen ended up being so they'll be higher up.
Is this the fifth
Okay,
one?
number 5. Yes, Aerosmith, a little sound of sanity, a little south of sanity.
I don't remember that one, but
Is that one that has it is a double album and had a lot of songs. I don't think it was a best of because it does sound like a best of.
I don't know. Well, I liked Aerosmith. Probably I know that album, but I had a couple of albums, not that one. Okay, my number 5 is Motorhead Bastards. I think Bastards is my favorite. Is the one I've listened to the most. I like other albums, even some more recent. The last one I listened to was an anthology of covers by Motorhead. Quite good, but
I need to listen to that one. I don't think
anthology.
I have that in the playlist. Yeah, I love listening to covers, to other bands doing covers of yeah.
Number 4.
Okay, number 4. Number 4, I've picked Oud Lemper, Punishing Kisses. Punishing Kiss. I really
Kisses.
like that album. Kisses, it's kisses in plural.
I thought about it. But then, not really. It could have been an honorable mention, but yeah.
Yeah.
There was a time
I was,
I really liked
I
it.
was thinking in terms of albums, so and I really like that
Yeah,
album.
I did listen to
As
that
an
album
album,
a long time ago. In my case, I don't know. Is that a '90s album? I think. Yeah.
probably no, 2000s, I think.
I think it's late.
Early
It's
2000s
very
or late 90s.
something like that. Okay. Mine is. I had to pick an album by Johnny Cash. It wasn't an easy decision. Um, to avoid picking a live album and going with live at Folsom Prison, I picked something more recent. Actually, I prefer the more recent songs. The Man Comes Around. This says some of my recent favorite songs by Cash. Actually, some of those songs are covers, and I have to say something about Cash. Everything he covers, he does better. So all of those American recordings are very, very good ones. There's even a YouTube song, which obviously is better than the original because the original sucks. I can't remember which one, but I know there's a YouTube song somewhere in one of those American recordings albums. Okay, now we are going to enter the top 3.
Yes, the top
And I
3.
think my top 3 might surprise some people. I don't know. Let's go.
So I also another thing that I did was not to have repeats. If I decided to have repeats,
Yeah,
it would be different. Yeah. Number 3, I've put Depeche Mode, the singles 86, 98, which is kind of best of, but it's not. I still like them. Although, yes, I do like the Johnny's Cash version of, I think it's Personal Jesus.
Personal Jesus, yeah.
Better than the original, yes.
course, it's
Not
better.
the but not the Manson cover. For that, I prefer the.
I don't. I don't know. I don't think I know. Well, no, I don't care about Marilyn Manson.
I know you don't care about Marilyn Manson. Yeah, because this. I mean, I really like the. I still like. I can still listen to them. Not New Miguel, of course. But yeah, I cannot pick an album. But I did have this one, and I listened to it a lot.
Okay, my number three is an album by the King of Cool, Mr. Dean Martin. I think probably no one that expect I would pick up a.
I did, but
You did, of course, yes, but yeah. So I picked. There are so many. So Italian Love Songs is the one I like the most. I think it's some of his biggest hits are there. So that's the one. I could have picked 20 different albums. So here's just an example. And it's probably the one I listen to the most. Though I don't have it, but on Spotify you can choose albums, right? You are not required to listen to playlists. Number two.
my number two is the Queen live at Wembley. Because I wanted to have the Queen on the list, but yeah, what album? And then I decided that Live at Wembley probably deserves to be number two.
Yeah, I think even some of the songs are probably the renditions are probably better in Live at Wembley than they were in the original albums where they sang it. So it's really, really their best moment, I think. Okay, my number two. I could have picked a live album, but I picked a studio album, and it's Mr. Leonard Cohen, and I picked "I'm Your Man." The option would be live at London, which is kind of uh, the same thing I said before about Queen. Is versions is the versions of the songs in London are better than most of
That means I already know what is your number one.
of course. It would have been Cohen some time ago, but not anymore. So,
So
and
my number
we,
one
were,
is
we almost listened to this, but not in London, here in
yes, but in
Lisbon.
Lisbon,
The
and I
concert was.
listened to it 2 times.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
But
did
the one we went together
was
was
the best one. Yes,
it was
yeah,
no,
Live
it
at
was
London.
days
It was the
after
first.
London, I think.
Yes,
And what's it called? The lineup was almost
it
the
was the
same as.
same. It was the same tour. Yes. So my number one is Leonard Cohen Live at London.
Okay. My number one, it was a difficult pick for the album, not a difficult pick of the artist, which is Mr. Chairman of the board himself, Frank Sinatra. I chose Strangers in the Night not because I like that song in particular, but because in that album there are some several songs that I rather liked. There would be other options. There are some older albums that I really like. I can't remember the name, but the one in which there's a duet with his daughter. Um, that one is very good as well. My Way is a good one. Well, many albums would have fitted this, but I chose just this one, and it's good, and it's probably one of the best. So we're through.
This is it. But I think it's not a bad idea. So next list, best soundtracks, because it's different.
Yeah, yeah, not the same thing. I'll have to think about that. Well, maybe Shadow can do that.
Yeah. So this is the challenge. Best. I actually like listening to soundtracks, so I don't think this is
Yeah,
gonna be
there
hard.
are a few soundtracks. Well, there's something I've listened to several soundtracks dozens of times because I was using them as background music for game sessions. So there are some albums that I would not probably put on a list, but for example, Dracula's soundtrack I use it a lot. Conan, I think, several others. Blade Runner soundtrack. That one I actually like. It's a very good one. Vangelis. and not just him. There are some couple of other songs. Well, anyway, that's okay. Let's propose that
Let's do that next week.
a top 10 soundtracks. I'll have to spend some time thinking about that. It would be probably this one. The difficulty was picking the albums, not the artists. It was very easy for me. I just started lining up the artists and bands, and then it was just a matter of picking my favorite or my most listened album for each one. So it wasn't a difficult one. It was difficult to pick the album. In the case of soundtracks, it's probably I'd have to think a bit. Okay, so we're over with this one, and let's see if you're doing another one or not. Bye, guys. Have a nice week.